bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Ooh, y'all boys see the new intro, ladies and gentlemen? Do y'all see the new intro?
Dang,
they see? You think they saw it, man? Just for that, I'm gonna play it again for them.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
They don't see the banner. They don't see the banner in the background.
They don't see the mics.
The mics. They don't see.
They
it.
don't
They don't
see.
see
They see we trying to. They don't see we trying to. Make some things happen. They don't see it, dog. They don't see it. Oh, I'm looking at these. Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong. Hey, we gotta play the intro one more time because I got the wrong band.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Hey, that Jamar Chase is live doing the. That's Jamar Chase.
And we picked somebody who was doing their things, and we got to update this too. But I kind of done.
Yeah, that's that's last year's record, right?
That's last year's, but I mean, it was a great time.
Yeah, we don't.
That was only, but that was only for a month. That was not. We hit 100 each.
Yeah, that was
just for that last March Madness. I think that might just be like the tournaments going into the March Madness. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, okay. The league conference tournaments, and then March Madness.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, peoples, let's kind of talk about last week. Hey.
Yeah. All right. I've been listening to that earlier before we well. That's my warm-up show. I'm listening to that. That's my warm-up song. Like, Pit out the palace.
Yeah, no,
I'm kind of stylish.
So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. We'll say the NFL talk for tomorrow's show. But last week we had a pretty good week. So far this year on our picks, we're 28-10. We're 5-2 on our locks, and we went 9-3 last week, which I think was still pretty good. Way to finish the week out. We went 5-2 on our locks last week as well. Oh no, excuse me. I think we went 3-1 last week on our locks. So we are back. But anything you saw in particular? You see anything in particular
over the weekend or just today? What we talking about?
Just over the weekend, college basketball.
I'm not gonna lie. What did I watch in college basketball? Because NFL was just so amazing. It blew my mind.
That's what I'm saying. We got to say that talk.
I think I watched Oklahoma play. Who the hell did they play over the weekend? I don't know. Nothing. I can't say nothing really just stood out because after Sunday, after the NFL games,
too, it was just like wow.
Everything else was a blur.
It was like this is
why we sit around the couch on Sundays.
This was entertaining. Were you entertained?
Were you entertained? I was texting you. Are you not entertained?
But like back what I was saying before that
oh, you know what we can't talk about? Yes. Did you watch that Texas Tech Kansas last night?
I didn't see this. So I took Kansas first half -3.5, hit that. I didn't see it until we talked. I called you back. You was like, bro, they going into overtime. And I was like, what? Because my second half play was going to be Texas Tech money line. It was like sitting at like plus 140. But I ended up doing some other stuff like live betting. And I was like, I'll catch that Tech game later. But that's about it, man.
Good game.
What you thought about it?
Great game. I caught it live first half and caught Texas Tech plus 7.5. Just felt like it was gonna be a tight game. They beat them at home, so I felt they could keep it within 8 points on the road.
Right.
Back and forth game, the whole game. Kansas hit a unbelievable ass shot to push it into the first overtime, I believe, but it went into double overtime. Actually, put my phone on vibrate. Went into double overtime. Then after I caught that Texas A&M, when that wrapped up, I caught USC down. Man, they were down like 8-2 in the first. Caught them to win the first half money line plus 1-0. It was like plus 102. Jumped on that quick.
I would have
jumped over that whole quick. I think it was Arizona State. Yeah, Arizona State. Jumped on that. Then caught the second half minus 6.5. They was up. They end up winning the first half by like 5. It was like 31-26, something like that.
You know my boys. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you know my boys took care of business yesterday, and they little match. What's their name? Townsend. Townsend was on the road. They played Delaware, and they took care of business. You know, Townsend, my little.
This is the time. I said that earlier today. This is the time to, for the bettors out there, probably a little late, but we probably right on time, man. This is the time to start figuring out those smaller schools. Plus, you're going to get, in my opinion, you're going to get more favorable lines. You're probably going to get more rookie line setters, hopefully, anyway. You get less for all the conspiracy theories. You get less rigs because, they not rigging fucking Townsend and Elon.
Right.
So you go get less bullshit. So, we got one of my small schools on the map today.
Well, let's jump right into it, man, because I know the people tired of hearing us talk. They probably like, man, get to the play. So let's jump into our first game, and this is
10 minutes, niggas. We ain't gotta go talk about the games and shit.
So hey, we get 10 live watches. I'm gonna throw that intro back on just to let them know. But anywho, we got top 25 action. Super Tuesday, that this is when we kind of pick up. We recover from the NFL. We got Michigan State Spartans sitting at 15-3, coming off of an upset victory against Indiana the other day. Or was that over the weekend? I think it was over the weekend. Or was that Friday? I think it was Friday. That was Friday.
I got it right here.
They beat Wisconsin.
That was the 21st, which was like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah, they beat Wisconsin.
Saturday. 86-74 at Wisconsin.
I'm trying to find, but anywho, so top 25 action, we got Michigan State Spartans 15-3 on the year, 10-8 against the spread, taking on the Illinois Fighting Alumni. They are 13-5 on the year, 9-9 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Illinois minus 5.5, and currently is sitting at 4.5. The total opened up at 145.5. Right now it's at 142. There are some 141s in the mix as well. Michigan State, they are pretty good right now with injuries. As far as Illinois, your boy Cockburn, the center, big baby Shaq, he is questionable tonight with a concussion. Last time we saw Michigan State, they won 86-74 against Wisconsin, like Marty explained earlier. And the last time we saw Illinois, they lost 65-81 against Maryland, who Maryland was kind of trending down at that time. They was on a nice little cold L streak, and then they picked up that big victory against Illinois. So shout out to them boys. Get to these actual facts real quick. Michigan State, they're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 7 out of the last 9 games. They're 10-1 straight in the last 11 games, 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games against Illinois, 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games against Illinois, 4-1 against the spread last 5 games on the road. They're 6-14 against the spread in the last 20 games when playing on the road against Illinois. 9-1 straight up in the last 10 games, 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games against an opponent in the Big Ten Conference. Let's go to the Fighting Illini, who are 8-4 against the spread in the last 12 games. The over said 11 out of the last 14 games, 11-3 straight up in the last 14 games, 13-2 straight up in the last 15 games at the crib. They're 14-6 though against the spread in the last 20 games when playing at the crib against Michigan State. 11-4 against the spread in the last 15 games whenever they're going against a Big Ten Conference opponent, and the overs hit 9 out of the last 12 games whenever Illinois is playing as a favorite. So top 25 action in the Big Ten. Illinois taking on Michigan State. Marley, what's your play?
I am on Sparty here, plus the 4.5. And mainly good portion of that is because Cockburn is questionable. I'm going to assume that he's not playing. And the way that they looked against Maryland without him was just not good at all. And when he doesn't produce in the paint, it's kind of tough for them to score. But in Michigan's defense, outside of that, Illinois' defense, rather, outside of that Wisconsin win, Michigan's schedule, they ain't played nobody. I was just looking at their last 10 wins. It's against virtually nobody. I mean, we talking, I think this is Toledo, Minnesota, Penn State, Oakland, High Point. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about Michigan State or Illinois?
Michigan State schedule. They haven't played.
Well, they play some dogs in the beginning of the season. Typically, that's what they do. They play dogs in the beginning of the season in the tournaments because you got to remember they opened up this year against Duke, or was it Kentucky?
It was somebody tough.
Or was
though.
it Kansas?
It might have been Kansas. It wasn't Duke. They opened up against Duke like a year or two ago, though.
Right.
But yeah, you're right. With that. But with that said, you know, I'm gonna put my faith in Gabe Brown. He's the leading scorer for Sparty, 13.6 a game, and like I said, without Cockburn, that's just a major piece for me in the middle. Like you said, that's Baby Shaq. They rely on him a lot. So give me Sparty.
He is questionable though, so that's not rule him out yet. But he's questionable. But you know,
I'm saying I'm making my play based with the assumption that he's not playing. That's why I started.
Right. No, so I got you.
I'm on Sparty with the 4. I think even if he does play, it's still a tight game.
Right.
So I still like the 4 points. It's hard for me to see Illinois losing 3 straight. You know what I'm saying?
But you're just asking for them to cover, and I'm gonna ride with you right here on that one as well. I like Michigan State with the points. I just think they're playing a little better basketball within the last week. Illinois has been kind of cutting it close in some of the games, and like I said, they're on. I mean, are those legs tired? Playing 2 back-to-back games that are L's. You know, going under double overtime with Purdue. Then they got Michigan, they got drugged by Maryland. So, you know, it's kind of one of them things like, are they trending down? I'm not going to say they're trending down. I'm just going to say if we're talking about within the last week, I think they are trending it down. And I think, you know, those 2 legs are kind of shot. Now, with Cockburn being hurt or whatever the case may be, man, I'm just sorry, bro. I got to ride with Michigan State Sparty on these points. So, that's what the play is. I'm gonna back you up on that. What's going on, Jalen? Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. So far on our college basketball for the year, we are sitting at 28-10 on the year, 9-3. We went last week and 5-2 in our lock plays so far this year. So we're just getting started in college basketball, so we appreciate everybody tuning in. We are here. We are definitely here daily. But that's why it's very important to follow all of our platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook Live, because when we don't do shows, we post our picks. We throw our picks out there, and we throw our locks of the day in. So, and if you're looking for our lock of the day, just hang tight. That is our last play. So we are covering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 games to cover today, and then our 6th play is our game is our lock of the day. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Let's get on to our next game. Now, this is a game I definitely was looking at. We got the Buffalo Bulls taking on the Toledo Rockets. The Bulls are sitting at 10-6 on the year, 8-8 against the spread, while the Toledo Rockets are 15-4 on the year, 14-5 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Toledo -6, but that line has now gone down to 4.5. As far as the total, it opened up at 155.5. Right now, that line's at 157. Injury reports right now, there are none listed for Buffalo. And right now, Edu, the forward for Toledo, he is out indefinitely. He has actually been out. Buffalo Bulls, they're actually on a 4-game winning streaks, and some of those wins occurred over the last 2 weeks against Bowling Green, Western Michigan, Ball, and Kent State. While Toledo is actually on a 6-game winning streak, knocking out some pretty good competitive teams as well. But their latest victory came 87-69 on the road against Ohio, who's been balling as well. So I actually took Toledo first half money line in that, and they just blew the doors off. Anywho, get to these actual factuals. For the Buffalo Bulls, they are 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games. They're 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games, 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games whenever they're going against Toledo. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games against Toledo. The unders hit 5 out of the last 6 games whenever the Bulls are playing on the road. They're 10-5 straight up in the last 15 games this year, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against a MAC opponent, but only 1-4 against the spread whenever they're in the last 5 games whenever they're playing somebody from the West Division of the MAC. Toledo Rockets, 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 games, 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games. The unders hit 9 out of the last 13 against the Bulls, 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games at the crib. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 7 whenever they're playing at the crib against the Bulls. 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 games against a MAC conference opponent. 9-3 straight up in the last 12 games whenever they're playing an opponent from the East Division. So Toledo Rockets taking on the Buffalo Bulls. Marley, I know this was one of the games I was looking at, and I threw on the docket late. Do you have a play for this one, my guy?
No, I don't. I looked at it too tight, too close. Both of these teams are playing well right now. And they both are offensively driven. It's going to be a lot of points. I was thinking about the over here, but nah, I'm just going to stay away. I don't know nothing about this. So, we talked earlier about making plays that, we're going to protect our records in college basketball. So,
correct.
No guesswork over here. I'm off of that.
Correct the mundo. So, I do have a play in this. Definitely both of these games are tight, but I think I found something, man. Toledo in the last 7 games have won the first half by an average of 3 points.
Okay.
So right now, the first half of this game should be anywhere close to 2. Are we doing the best? Yeah. We're gonna throw some NBA plays in there. And open mic sessions. Marley got y'all. Just let me double check real quick, peoples. I apologize. Let me try to see real quick.
Toledo, that boy Jalen rocking with you. He say Toledo first half. Nice.
Yes, sir. Let's go. I mean, in the night they've been balling out, but my only thing is this going to be a letdown game coming off of that road victory against Ohio, Ohio's at the top of that conference, and they came in and knocked big boys out. I think with the home crowd backing them up, back home, and they realize, hey man, we're leading the pack right now. Here's our opportunity to go in. I definitely like them, and right now it's at 2.5. So yeah, they've been averaging first half victories by 3. We're sitting at 2.5. So my official play for this, I'm gonna back Toledo for the first half victory.
Toledo
-2.5. Let's give us some good 3 points, man. This is one of my teams that I'm gonna be following for the rest of the year. Now I'm putting them in the list with Townsend, with Hofstra, James Madison, Drexel, some of them little schools.
St. Bonnie.
Yeah, the Bonnies. I know this ain't a little school because we know. But Fresno State, bro. that's my other little sleeper team, Fresno State. So, Jalen, that's right, big dog. That's right. They killed it for me. Let's ride, big dog. So, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. So now we're gonna get in to Marley's games. This is one of his smaller schools that he found. We're talking about the Missouri State Bears taking on the Indiana State Sycamores. The Bears are 15-6 on the year, 13-8 against the spread, while the Sycamores are 8-10 on the year. Okay, I see where you go with this, Marley. 9-6-1 against the spread. The line opened up in favor of the Bears -6.5. Right now, that line's at -5.5. The total opened up at 45.5, and right now that line is at 45.5. But there are some 145s out there. So depending on where you're trying to get at, go holler at him. Sharp is injured; he's out indefinitely for Missouri State. While Indiana State, they have Neese to guard. He is questionable with a neck injury, and Key is out for the season with a shoulder injury. Missouri State is on a 4-game winning streak, and they won their last game against LCU 79-69.
Chicago. That's who that LCU.
Oh, for real?
Yes,
that's a good victory.
In Loyola, Chicago.
Okay. While Indiana State's on a 4-game losing streak, last time they were out, they played Valpo. They lost 75-73. So that definitely was a tough fought game on the 22nd. So are those legs a little shot playing that tough game? Let's get to these actual factuals. Missouri State 10-3 against the spread in the last 13 games. The total has gone over 5 out of the last 6 games. They're 7-0 straight up in the last 8 games, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games against Indiana State. 11-1 straight up in the last 12 games against Indiana State. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road. 4-0-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Indiana State. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games against an opponent from the Missouri Valley Conference. Get to these Indiana State Sycamores. You know, when I hear that name, Sycamores, I think of that school, that Bishop. What was that school, that fake-ass school that came out with the college football? No, for the high school.
The high school? I know you. I don't know the name of the school, but I know what you're talking about.
I want to say their name was the Bishop Sycamores. I don't know, bro. But when I hear that name, that's what I'm thinking of.
Fake-ass high school.
Hey, let's get it, man. No,
boy got on TV, dog.
Bro. Shout out to that boy Flimmo Raps. He made a nice little documentary about it. It's very entertaining, very informative.
That shit is crazy.
You know, all I could think of when I was watching it was they should have never gave you niggas money. Oh man.
That shit is crazy. On ESPN.
And they just had a game 3 days ago before they played. Anywho, man, let's get to these extra facts. The total has gone over 9 out of the last 13 games. They're 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games. Their overs also hit 8 out of the last 12 against Missouri State. 11-2 straight up in the last 13 games at the crib. Now, Marley, 0-4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games playing at the crib against Missouri State. The overs hit 4 out of the last 6. They're 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against an opponent in the Missouri Valley Conference. And on Tuesdays, the unders also hit 6 out of the last 8 games when played on a Tuesday. And they're also 5-10 against the spread in the last 15 games whenever they're playing at the crib on a Tuesday. So I'm off for this one. I don't have if I lean, I'm going to lean with you because I'm going to trust your judgment on this. But Missouri State Bears taking on the Indiana State Sycamores. Marley, what's the play?
All right, so the play I'm recommending so I got 2 plays on this, but one's only one official play for the show. Officially for the show, I'm on the first half on the money line. Now, in their last 5 games, Missouri State, that is, in their last 5 games, they've won all 5 of their first halves, including that win last week against Loyola Chicago. I shouldn't have to. I'm gonna assume that everybody knows how good Loyola Chicago is. They're not such a small school anymore. They went. I think they got to the Sweet 16 last year.
Yeah, they went far last year.
It shouldn't be, that name should have some type of recognition for anybody that's watching the show. So not only did they go in there and win the game, they went in there and won the first half and the second half of that game. Beat them by 10 points in Chicago. Now you would say, all right, are we worried about a letdown? These little conferences, they can't afford letdowns. They have to win their conference. That's the only way they get it. So they can't afford to go have a letdown the next week against a lower ranked team. They got to capitalize on every game. So that negates the letdown for me. And not only did they go into Loyola Chicago, they beat the brakes off a Valespero team that you just finished talking about against Indiana.
Valpo.
There we go. And lost one of their losses is to a UNI team, and we both kind of high on UNI University. Oh no, I'm thinking URI, but University of Rhode Island, Illinois. I'm thinking Rhode Island, but UNI is a good team.
I got you.
Iowa. So they only lost that game by 1 point, but they won the first half, and that's all we need them to do here. First half on the money line. The line is like 2.5, but we just got money line that shit. It was 160, I think. When I checked it just shortly right before the show. So I'm also gonna take the full game, but just for show purposes. First half, money line, they gonna come out and ball. They won their last 5 straight first halves, and I don't expect that to be any different. So
that's it. Official play first half.
Official play. We go rock with Isaiah Mosley, 21 points a game, 5 rebounds, and then Gage Prime. 13.8 rebounds. Like, this team is pretty good. They're solid. I trust them first half. And this is one of those schools that, I paid attention to last year as well. So it's not like they just popping on the radar.
Now I'm gonna say this. The thing I definitely love about these smaller schools is that they're not really trying to rig those. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you start watching these small schools, especially the ones that aren't on TV. Now I know you would think like, hey, it's easy to rig them because they're not on TV, but there's not a lot of money, there's not a lot of focus in. Like, Vegas don't give a fuck about these games. Like Illinois, Maryland. I mean, Illinois, Michigan State. Definitely Arizona and UCA. And anytime you get any top 25 matchup in an SEC game, boy, you better believe that the rigness is coming in. So that's definitely one thing
taking over in basketball too, though. The SEC is tough.
Yeah, but it still ain't fucking with the Big Ten, dog. I'm sorry.
Big who?
I'm not Big 10, Big 12. You saying who won it last year?
Who did?
Exactly. Baylor, nigga. Anywho, Marley likes Missouri State on the first half. Hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets, and let's get on to our next game on Super Tuesday. Our lock of the day is going to be at the end of the show. Last week we started off great on the week. We went 3-0, and then we lost Friday on our lock of the week. Let's get on to our next game. We got the Maryland Terrapins taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Man, I'm gonna get on this in a little bit. Maryland sitting at 10-9 on the year, 7-12 against the spread, while the Rutgers are 11-7 on the year, 7-11 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Rutgers -2.5, and some money has came in on them. They're now sitting at 3.5. The total opened up at 131.5. Right now, that line's at 132.5, and there are some 32s out there in the mix as well. Excuse me. Injury report right now from Maryland. Dockery, the guard, he is questionable with personal situations going on. While Graham, the third guard and the fourth, he's out indefinitely with disciplinary actions. And for Rutgers, Agee, he is out indefinitely with personal issues as well. Last time we seen Maryland, they upset Illinois 81-65, and the last time we saw Rutgers, they lost 65-68 against Illinois, but they did beat Maryland on the 15th, 70-59, and they beat Iowa 48-46 in some serious hoe ass shit that happened in that game. And if you want to know what happened, just go to our Twitter page and you'll see me raging all over that, man. But anywho, that was a game I was like, bro, they got to send death threats to that referee. And I'm not the guy that's about that type of stuff, but you don't have a physical game like that where both teams are hacking, both teams being real physical, and you call a bullshit foul, bro, with 2 seconds left to let the man go to the free throw and hit the free throws, and that determined the game. Get out of here, boy. Anyways,
fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, my guy.
Out of
Maryland.
here. Fucking
Actual
walking
facts,
here.
boy. I was heated, boy. I was heated.
Heated over here. Fucking gambling. Fucking heated.
Maryland, actual facts, just 2-4 against the spread
Fucking
last 6
moolah.
games.
Fucking
Yeah. The total has gone over 4 out of the last 5. They're 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games against the Rutgers, 9-3 straight up in the last 12 games against the Rutgers, 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games on the road, 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road against Rutgers. The overs also hit 6 out of the last 8 games this season, and they're 2-6 straight up in the last 8 games played this month. Rutgers, they're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games, 6-2 straight up in the last 8 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5. They're 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games at the crib, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing at the crib against Maryland. They're 8-4 straight up in the last 12 games this season, 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games against Big 10 conference opponent. And the under has hit 10 out of the last 15 games whenever the Rutgers are playing in the month of January. So Maryland taking on the Rutgers. Marley, what's your play?
I'm on Rutgers at the crib. The thing I do like about Rutgers is they play hella defense. But they fucking can't score sometimes, and it pisses me off. I fucked with this team a lot last year. I don't know if you remember.
They got a chunky. Yeah, I remember because when I was watching them play when they were playing against Iowa, I was like, oh yeah, they got chunky boy over there running the forward. This boy got some football weight on him. But go ahead.
And so,
you like the money line or with the points?
I like them with money line. I'm not gonna lie, because they tend to play tight games. They have trouble scoring. But at home, I think they've only lost 1 game at home, if I'm not mistaken. This is, excuse me, this season. And they beat number 1 Purdue at the time, ranked number 1 Purdue at the time at the crib too. So they're very solid at the crib. Ron Harper Jr. is the leading scorer. But what this team really relies on is his defense at the end of the day. I forgot how many points I had it wrote down. Yeah, they're only giving up 64.2 points a game, but they only scoring 67.6 points a game, which is your 3.5 points right there. That's why I'm just going to take the money line and be safe, because they can go into slumps where they just do not fucking score. And you'll be pulling your hair out all day. So I'm a money line it here. Maryland coming off that big win against Illinois. This is one team that we can worry about a letdown, because they got other games to play. They got other shots to get into the tournament. It's not like Missouri State situation where they really only got one way to get in, and that's to win a conference. Like, if Maryland don't have to win the conference, they can win the conference tournament and look up and just get on the hot streak in the tournament and win that way and get in. So I like Rutgers here at the crib. Very tough at the crib. Like I said, I think they've only lost 1 game at home. I'll double check it real quick, but I know they've won like their last 6 home games, including a win at number 1 Purdue earlier in the season. So I'm going to take Ron Harper Jr., little NBA bloodline here in the money line at the crib. What's up, SBO? I see you.
All right, yeah. I'm gonna pass on this one. Man, I was about to get upset because I was like, "Damn, did they just cancel? That Boise Wyoming game? Which that's gonna be a good game out west, mid mountain area. I guess that's what we call it.
Boise.
That boy Jada said, "I want to go crazy today." Shit, we trying. I'm gonna pass on this one. I do like what you're talking because I mean, again, Maryland hasn't been playing good lately, especially in the month of January.
Yeah. I think they only got that win because Cockburn didn't play. I mean,
no, he played. He got fouled out though. He was playing, bro.
I thought that was him. He didn't play. I thought he missed the last game.
Bro, he got fouled out because I was watching that. Hold on, let me double check. Because didn't that game go in? It didn't go in the OT. Oh, you know what?
No, that's
I'm thinking the game beforehand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I think I mean the recipe is there.
Cockburn didn't play that game.
With everything that's going on right now, this is definitely a huge letdown spot for Maryland. So if I was to make a lean, I definitely would lean with you, my brother. But I'm gonna pass on this. I ain't fucking with Rutgers because they pissed me off last week, so I can't. Now they could have the ref in their pocket again. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not fucking with the boys, man.
So I can get it. I can take it.
Best of luck. That definitely should be a winner, though, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. Y'all get down in the comment section. I know we got a lot of people watching. SBO, you got to put them on game. We share it. And Jalen, hey, man, come talk that shit. That's why we say talk that shit. We put you on the blast. We're going to let everybody know. We're going to put your comments up there. So if you're watching, comment. Get in in the mix, man. We like it. We like to interact with our peoples. But yeah, so far this year, 28-10. We didn't start college basketball until football season's over. That's kind of how we do it because we like to focus. 9-3 last week, 5-2 on our locks for the year. We had a great record until last Friday with UConn coming out dead flat against Butler. But Butler I didn't know this, and that's on me. Butler got two of their best players back for that game. So that's why we're starting to see a little different Butler in these scores. They not get blown out the mix, left and right. So SBL, I'm a football guy. I need y'all help with the basketball. Well, I'm going to be real, college basketball, that's both of our things. That's my strong suit when it comes to basketball. NBA, got to go to Marley and Hova whenever he's not tired. But Hova is killing it in the NFL, everybody. Hova killing the NFL, like killing it. What did he go undefeated? No, because I think he did.
I went 3-1. I went 9. I'm 9-2 in the last 2 weeks in NFL.
My brother, my man. Because I know he took the Bills, huh? We have to look and see.
He took the Bills, and I took the Titans. That's my only loss.
Okay. All right, well, let's get into the mix, and we're 3 plays away from exposing our lock for today, and we'll do our recap, and we'll open up the forum, open up the mic, and we'll talk some NBA action. But let's get to our next game, and we coming here in the state of Texas. We going up there in the Fort Worth area. It's cold in Houston, so I know it's cold up there.
Like a motherfucker.
But we talking top 25 action, my boy. We got Texas taking on TCU, who's been hot. Texas Longhorns 14-5 on the year, 8-11 against the spread, while the TCU Horned Frogs, they're 13-3 on the year, 9-5-2 against the spread. This is Marley's team, ladies and gentlemen. This line opened up in favor of Texas -1, and a lot of money's come in. They're now sitting at 2.5. The total opened up at 119.5. Right now it's at 122.5. There are some 122s out there on the board. So if you're looking for a better number for the over, there you go. TCU, Evans, he's out for the season, and Wells is out as well. Last time we seen Texas, they won 56-51 against Oklahoma State. While TCU, last time we saw them, they beat Iowa State 59-44. And that's a good sneaky good Iowa State team. Yes, sir. Get to these actual factuals real quick. For Texas, they're 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games. The unders hit 8 out of the last 12. They're 13-4 straight up in the last 17 games. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games against TCU. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against TCU. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road. And we talked about this before. When who did we took? I think we took Iowa State that one time. because we were like, bro, Texas is not
against Iowa
good.
State. Yep.
Yeah, and they won 79. Iowa State won. They're not good on the road, and it shows. The under is 6 out of the last 8 games whenever Texas is playing on the road in Fort Worth. They're 7-3 straight up in the last 10 games, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games against a Big 12 conference opponent. Let's get to these actual factors for TCU now. TCU 8-1 against the spread in the last 9 games. The total has gone under 4 out of the last 5 games. 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games. The unders also hit 13 out of the last 17 games when playing against Texas. They're 7-1 straight up in the last 8 games whenever playing at the crib. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 8 whenever they're playing at the crib against Texas. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games this season. 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games in the month of January, but only 2-4 when in the last 6 games when they played on Super Tuesday. So TCU taking on Texas Longhorns. Marley, do you have a play for this one, my guy?
Yeah, of course I do. I have those Horned Frogs money line at the crib. Okay. When I looked into it and I thought about what we said last time, we talked about Texas, and that's when they was playing Iowa State on the road. Texas is just, I don't think they're a good basketball team, period, honestly, but they're not that good on the road. I mean, they're awful on the road. All their losses are on the road. Lost to number 1 Gonzaga, we'll give them that one, right? Okay. Lose to Seton Hall on the road. Lose to Oklahoma State on the road. Lose to Iowa State on the road. All their losses are on the road. They don't show up on the road.
Move the mic just a little bit for you. When you leaning in, you know, y'all gotta watch Marley. He knew with the new mic. Ooh, he got to get used to it.
All right.
All right. You see him, SBO? He got the banner. SBO, he got the banner. Okay. I hooked him up with the mic. Okay. He in there now, SBO.
The Rams caught the big place. Okay.
Go ahead, man. I ain't mean to throw you off.
Yeah. No, you good, man. I'm on TCU money line, man. I'm rocking with my boy Mike Miles. You know what I'm saying? This will probably be like the 3rd or 4th time I've been on TCU this season. Like you said, it's kind of one of my, I won't call them a sleeper team, but they're not a huge team when people talk about college basketball. But yeah, I think they pull it out at home. Just Texas is just not a good road team. So,
all right. Yeah, I'm riding with TCU. Texas, like we said before, Texas is not a good road team. We're in Texas, bro, so we get all the info. We watch all the games are accessible for us. So, and we called it. We called it last time when they were going on the road as a huge favorite against Iowa State. We said Iowa State money line. I mean, it's tough to play in Ames. It's tough to play in Fort Worth, especially when Fort Worth is winning. We're saying Fort Worth because that's what TCU is. But whenever they're winning games, oh man, that stadium is lit up, man. And they got the right guys. And what's your boy name at the guard? What's up? Looking like your mama. What's your boy name? The guard.
You think he look like his mama?
Yeah, he do, dog. Yeah, he do. Man, that's my opinion, dog. Yeah, anywho, I like. What's your boy name? The guy.
Who? Miles.
Yeah.
Shit. Mike Miles.
Mike Miles. That's that. Hey, he the dude, man. So I'm gonna back TCU up with the points, though. I do like them to win. I wouldn't be scared to take them with the points, but just to be a little safe, because statistically shown, Texas does beat them straight ups. I'm gonna be safe and take the plus 2.5. So, what you got to say about that? I know you about to say something about that.
First half?
No. Full game. I'm on full game plus 2.5. I'm just saying statistically, the numbers back Texas in straight up victories. You know, they 7-0 in the last straight up games, but shit can change.
My bad. I was looking at the comment. BK Savage. So y'all like, no, I damn near want to take Duke. I'm just, I don't know. I think Duke blow their ass out, but I'm too scared to take it, so I stayed away from it. That's what I got to say about that.
We were going to cover that game, though. We really was.
I really want to take Duke, but I don't know if I'm just going based off that blowout from last game, and I'm overreacting. You know what I'm saying? Because Clemson is kind of a tough team, but Duke at the crib and they doing that shit, and them shots get to falling, and they gonna do this shit. It's over with. It's over. Niggas make 3 threes, 2 threes back to back, and they start doing this shit right here. It's over with. Well, anyway, nah, man.
You stupid, bro. They do be.
They be out there getting that voodoo. They putting that doo-doo on you, that Cameron voodoo. Niggas going crazy out there.
Ain't no free throws, and they be right, and especially if they
on top of your ass. I used to hate Duke until I fell in love with that, dog. That shit started making me love them niggas. Anyway, no, I agree with you. I mean, I agree with your overall pick. I mean, I know the numbers. Of course, the numbers are going to say that because you know Texas is a more big.
I would take Duke first half plus minus a 6.5.
Oh yeah, that might not be bad.
I would do that, Sky. Hey, Sky, appreciate you joining the show. Be sure to hit the like, follow us on the Facebook. So that's
ABK.
We
Sky.
I'm tripping. I thought it was SB. Yeah, I don't know why I read Sky. Moving too quick. The fingers fucking me up.
Them 2 Y's at the
The fingers fucking me up, bro. Man, let's get ready. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We about to get to our lock of the day. We got one more game to cover, and this is my little sleeper team. We talking about Wyoming and Boise State. Boy, both these teams are looking pretty good. Wyoming Cowboys 15-2 on the year, 9-6-1 against the spread, while the Boise State Broncos are 15-4 on the year, 11-7 against the spread. This line actually opened up in favor of Wyoming minus 4.5. Something didn't happen to switch it to 5. As you look at it, it should be a 2-point game in favor of the Broncos just because of home field advantage. The line opened up at 129.5 for the total. Right now, that line's at 132. There are some 132.5s as well. Oh, here we go. So for Wyoming, Foster, the guard, he is questionable for today's game. He's in quarantine. And Ducell, the guard, he is questionable as well. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. So that's probably it. While Boise State, King, the guard, he is out, but he has been out for the majority of the season because he's redshirt. Wyoming, they are on a 6-game winning streaks. It's one of the most impressive wins they had. They beat Utah State, Nevada, but their last outing they won 93-91 on the 22nd against New Mexico. So are they a little tired? We will see. While Boise State, bro, they've been on a streak. They on a mean streak. Like from what I'm seeing right now, from what caught my attention is when they played against Nevada a week and a half ago. On this streak, bro, they've been averaging 18 points victories on this streak, but we'll get into that actual factions. Let's start off with Wyoming, though. 13-6 against the spread in the last 20 games. The total has gone over 8 out of the last 12. They're 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games, 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing against Boise State. And they are 0-7 straight up in the last 7 games when playing against Boise. But they're 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games on the road, 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games when they're playing on the road against Boise. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games this season, 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 games against a Mountain West Conference opponent. Boise State, they're 8-2 against the spread in the last 10 games. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5. They're 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. The unders hit 5 out of the last 6 against Wyoming, 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games at the crib, 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games at the crib against Wyoming. The unders hit 6 out of the last 8 games this season, 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games in the month of January, 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games whenever they're playing on Super Tuesday. So Boise State taking on Wyoming. Marley, do you have a play for this one?
No, I do not. This is all you.
Okay, all right. This is all me, my guy. So, real quick, like I said, Wyoming, Boise State on their win streak, and I'm gonna get it correct right now. The correct number: 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. They're on a 12-game win streak, people. During this 12-game win streak, they have been averaging, besides the last couple of games, they have been at the last 3 games, they have been 4 games since conference play. But they've been averaging 18-point margins in their victories against teams. In the last 4 games, well, since they started district play, they beat Nevada by 15. They beat New Mexico by 8, excuse me. They beat Air Force. They beat Air Force by 6. They beat Utah State at Utah State, the game that they started off slow against 62-59. They were down big in that game. And then San Diego State, they won by 5 points. Now, the spread right now is 5, and it's looking like two of Wyoming's top role players are questionable for this game. I think the safe play, because they've been balling in the first half as well, besides the last 2 games on the road, but now they're back at the crib. I like Boise State right here for the first half play, -3. That's my official play. I'm a big fan of this Boise State team. They can score, and when they get hot, they get hot. They can shoot from outside the perimeter, and they can play inside the paint. So this is one of my teams I'm going to be following for the rest of the year. I like Boise State in this spot, -3 for the first half. So that's my official play. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets, and we are Brothas N Bets so far this year, 28-10 this year, 9-3 last week on our plays, 5-2 this year on our lock plays. So those are our plays. Now it's time to get to the lock, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to end this one tonight on a good note. Last game, top 10. We talking about top 10 college basketball action, and we got a lock on this one.
This might be the rig game of the night.
Yeah, the rig game. This the one where I'm gonna be texting crazy in the group chat, like, man, what the da. But anywho, we got to keep in mind: are they still banning fans in the stadium? I'm gonna look that up while I let you go over your stuff. Anywho. Arizona Wildcats, 16-1. The only one coming against a loss against Tennessee, who they absolutely got cooked by the refs in that game. 11-5-1 against the spread, taking on the 13-2 UCLA Bruins, 6-8-1 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Arizona -2.5. That line now sitting at 3. There are some 2.5s. In fact, before we started the show, it was at 2.5, so it's back up to 3, I'm guessing. The total opened up at 152.5. Right now, that line's at 150. For injured for Arizona, Tabellis, he is questionable with an ankle injury, and Etienne, he's been out with an ACL injury. Since that loss to Tennessee, Arizona has won 5 games in a row against Washington, Colorado, Utah, Stanford, and Cal. So they haven't really played some of the top dogs in their conference. While UCLA, now we got to keep this in mind, before their loss against Oregon, which we called it, I told the people, I like Oregon with the points here for sure, because UCLA has only had 4 games in the last month and a half. But now they're getting back in the grooves. They're on a 3-game win streak. They beat Oregon State, they beat Utah, and they beat Colorado in a close one the other day. Actual factuals for Arizona: the unders hit 5 out of the last 7 games. They're 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games. They're 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games against UCLA. 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games against UCLA. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games on the road. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road against UCLA. 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games against a Pac-12 conference opponent. Now, as far as UCLA's actual factuals, 1-4-1 against the spread in the last 6 games, but 8-1 straight up in the last 9 games. The unders hit 5 out of the last 7 games against Arizona. 18-2 straight up in the last 20 games at the crib. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing at the crib against Arizona. 13-2 straight up in the last 15 games this season. 4-15-1 against the spread in the last 20 games against a Pac-12 conference opponent. And the overs hit 5 out of the last 6 games whenever they're playing at the crib on Super Tuesday. So UCLA taking on Arizona. This is our lock of the day. Marley, I'll let you go first. Nick.
All right. I hate Pac-12 everything. I guess I don't know why I don't like the Pac-12, but I don't. Neither one of them has really played, anybody. They both got the. I mean, if we go give UCLA the quality wins of Colorado, then I mean the Arizona beat the same Colorado.
They both ain't. Yeah, they both.
So, so I guess in my opinion, outside of I think UCLA played Gonzaga earlier in the year.
Got drugged.
and got drugged. Other than that, I don't know who the hell Arizona has played. But I am just gonna ride with the two senior guards and Johnny and what's the other Julius Ju something. Damn it, I just had a shit written down. But UCLA and the home team, I think that the matchup to watch is obviously gonna be Benedict against Johnny, the two guards for the team. But everything I've been hearing, Arizona's supposed to be one of the top teams in the country on every sports channel I watch. When they talk about college basketball, but I have yet to see it, and I did watch them against that Tennessee game. Maybe that was just a bad game to catch them at, but that first half, I guess the first half they got dominated. They put up 54 points in the second half, but it wasn't enough to ultimately win the game. But I've seen this UCLA team play in big games before, even though they did get dominated against Gonzaga. Those two, their guys were still there. I haven't seen this Arizona team play big yet, in my opinion. And so I'm on the Bruins here at the crib. It's gonna really determine if they got those home fans in their coach. That's a big deciding factor for me. So I need to know if they're
let me look it up real quick.
Yeah.
Let me look it up real quick. So that's going to determine if you're going to go with the points or the money line.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's see real quick. UCLA having crowd at home games.
Yes, sir, it is.
They are? Yep.
Nah, I was saying
fans are back tonight. So embrace in the noise.
Give me the money line.
Give me the money
crazy.
So that is our lock of the day. Marley pretty much said it. I'm going with this UCLA team. They're the most experienced team as far as starters in the country. They have the most starters that have experience, that have that cohesiveness and chemistry amongst any other team out of 150 something college basketball teams in the country. So and I like this spot, and I have seen Arizona play on the road, and I've seen some holes in their game. They do have great size, but man, UCLA got some shooters.
Jules Bernard. I had to get his name right.
Well, the guy is Juzang, so that's
You talk about Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Juzang. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So our lock of the day, we both like UCLA to get the upset victory against Arizona, and this will end our college basketball for Super Tuesday, man. So hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. That is Marley Bets. Let's get an open mic. Jalen, you here? Let's talk this NBA. What you see today?
Let me go back to my NBA sheet.
I see the Spurs and the Rockets. They got the Spurs -5 when they just got through playing a tough game the other day.
Yeah, the Rockets just don't play no defense.
Toronto and Hornets. They got Toronto at the crib -2.5. You know who I've been riding with lately, bro?
Who is that?
I've been riding with them 76ers, man. I've been riding with them boys. Embiid, he killing it.
Embiid been playing great basketball. I feel like they wasting that boy career right
Ooh, Lakers Nets tonight. See, I don't
I would
even be
stay the
looking at
fuck.
this NBA.
God damn it, trying to change shit. I would
Lakers
stay
and
the fuck
Nets. They got the
away from
Lakers minus.
anything the Lakers are doing and the Nets. The Nets ATS record at home is terrible.
So I
And I
gotta
just
play
don't
for the
trust the
people.
Lakers.
Ooh,
I
this is
do
good.
like that Dallas
Yeah,
plus
I was
three
gonna
and a
say
half.
you like Dallas with the
And Dallas
points.
been balling. I think they beat the
I see.
Warriors 7 out of the last 8 times, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Clay's they on the 5 game. They on the they're 4-1 in the last 5
The
games.
problem with the Warriors is right now is no Draymond. That's the
Right.
problem. And like that boy is he set up the offense. You know what I'm saying? He essentially the point guard. He the motherfucker that's passing that hoe to Steph and them and getting the offense going. So
Right
can't answer the
there.
defense.
Lakers are trash, bro. I'm right there with you.
But shit, the problem is KD not playing, and then Kyrie can't play at home. So you just got James Harden, and that nigga ain't been really just balling right now. So
Hey, Monk, Rhode Island is our team, boy. That's one. Really, both of them are our team. That's kind of why we stayed away from this one because it can go either way.
I know that hoe can go either way. He's at
It
Rhode
can go
Island and
either way. Like Rhode Island, bro. I've been following them for 3 years now. That's a tough one.
Yep. Hold on real second. Hold on for one second.
You good. That's a tough one. You muted my mic, bro. Marley muted my mic.
It's all good. My bad.
Monk, I don't know, bro. I would take Richmond, but man, be careful with that game.
I'll stay off that hoe. Fuck that.
Yeah, man. Man, it can go either way. I want to take both of those are our teams. That's the thing. We follow them. So, I mean, if I were to lean anybody, I'll take them. I'll take that Rhode Island. Lakers are trash. Jalen, I see you with the pick, but man, they trash, bro. Like your boy Jenkins said, man, Lakers are trash. You know how much money I've lost? You know how much money I lost with the Lakers? So you know what I did? The last time I betted on the Lakers game, I ended up taking the Kings when the Lakers was up by like 12. And I took the Kings. And they won that hoe.
I'm not fucking with that hoe, dog. Not fucking with that hoe. Not fucking with that hoe at all.
Honestly, I'll take them Warriors tonight. I think that's a good play. Not first half. I think Dallas.
No Draymond, dog.
But they've been playing without Draymond now for almost 2 weeks.
All right.
He said, all right.
I'm on the Mavs plus 3.5.
And this is the Mavericks' first road game. Are they little road trip? Go ahead, Marley. What's your plays, NBA guy?
I'm on the Mavs plus 3.5.
Okay.
I like the Mavs plus the 3.5. I'm probably looking at Boston first half, minus the points. They're going up against the Kings. Kings got a couple knick-knack injuries. You check who playing De'Aaron Fox. He listed his day-to-day right now. But they on a 3-game losing streak. And it's the Kings. Let's be honest with you. Second game on a road trip. The Wiz, I like the Wiz tonight. They just don't play no defense, man. But who's gonna score for the Clippers? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Paul George, you can count on Reggie Jackson. I think he the leading scorer for the team. He only giving you fucking 16 points a game. So
did you see that trade proposal that they're talking about for between the Lakers and the Clippers? It'll send Russ. Let me try to find it. Russ, 2 draft picks. Hold on, let me just find it before I get the
T-Wolves. Ooh, T-Wolves and Blazers.
I like the Wolves, but
I like the Wolves.
It's janky playing in Portland on the late night game.
It is because it's super late.
It's janky, boy.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Wizards play. Man, they just don't play no fucking defense. But it's just like, who's gonna score for the Clippers? I don't know who's gonna score for the Clippers. That's the issue. Like Reggie Jackson, your leading scorer, he only giving you 16 points a game. So I definitely like that Wizards play. But they lost fucking 3 straight at home. But they lost to Boston, Toronto, and Brooklyn. So
here's why I would take the Nets tonight. Also, this just came out 42 minutes ago. Right.
I would take the Nets.
The Los Angeles Lakers Russell Westbrook experiment isn't going well. The team has considered a coaching change as recently as last week. The Lakers and Westbrook are stuck. But hold on, man. Let me get this trade. And now they talking trade offers, different trades and stuff. Did my boy post that in the chat or did he just post it? But I read it this morning. I was like, that don't sound like a bad little trade. Okay, I can't find it. But it seems like Serge Ibaka and a couple of others over there to the Lakers. I think Westbrook would do better with some guys like Pete. I mean, but he's done that PG-13 experience before, huh?
Yeah.
I like Cincinnati, but it's tough playing in Temple, Boost. It's tough playing in Philly. I do like Cincinnati, though. That's why it's like that. Last I saw it is at -4.
All right, big dog. I got to get on.
Yeah. So, hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. I am the coach. This is Marley Bets. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, follow. Marley, we can go ahead and get ready for the Super Tuesday action. If you hit them with the catch line, we out.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all good luck on y'all bets today. This is Brothas N Bets. That is the coach. I am Marley Bets, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, go back, check the content that y'all missed out.
Oh, hold on. We didn't do the plays. My bad, peoples. So Marley likes Michigan State +4.5. He likes Missouri State first half money line, Rutgers money line, TCU money line, and UCLA money line is our lock of the day. As for myself,
TCU, my best bet, dog. That's good money.
As far as myself, I like Michigan State +4.5, Toledo first half -2.5, TCU +2.5, Boise State first half -3, and UCLA lock of the day for the money line, like we said before. So my bad.
You good, man. TCU, my best bet. I like that. Next to the lock of the day. I like that.
SBL.
Yeah.
SBL Jalen. I don't know if y'all been here. Check out the intro. We got a new intro video. But hey, send us out.
I'm gonna send us out with the intro, huh?
Send us out with the catchphrase.
I know that, but I'm saying after that, you playing the intro, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. All right, people, man. Y'all know what it is. Good luck on y'all bets today. Y'all know what the goal is. Let's beat Vegas. We out this motherfucker.
Pitting at the palace, my boy.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems.